language. In this module, you will learn about meaning of SQL, need for SQL, creating tables in SQL, adding information to tables, various operators used in SQL commands. Let us begin the session with the concept of SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is mainly used for accessing and manipulating databases in the form of a standard language. SQL commands helps to create, transform, and retrieve information from relational database management systems. It also establishes interface between user and database. SQL commands helps to perform functions like creating tables, adding records, modifying data, removing rows, dropping table, etc., and enables us to search any data in the database. Let us now look at the uses of SQL commands in implementing various functions. They are retrieving data from a database, inserting records in a database, updating records in a database, deleting records from a database, creating new databases, creating new tables in a database, creating views in a database. Next, let us look at Create Table command. Using Create Table command, you can create a table structure. Here you need to mention full information about table, which includes number of columns, type of each column, and constraints, that is, a primary key. The Create Table command requires table name, field names, field definitions, and constraints for each field. In SQL, Create Table command has certain constraints. They are not null. It is used to verify a column and states that a column cannot store null value. Primary key. It is used to verify that a column have an unique identity, which assists in tracing a particular record in a table. The general syntax of Create Table command is as displayed on the screen. An example of table created using the Create Table command is displayed on the screen. Next is about Insert Into command. Insert Into command is basically used to add rows in the table. However, you can add only one row at a time. The general syntax of Insert Into command is displayed on the screen. Let us now look at an example of a table where data is inserted in the table using Insert Into command as displayed on the screen. Here you must note that if you want to insert values from the selective columns, then you have to use the method shown on the screen. Next is about Select command. Select command enables you to see the table information from SQL database. While using asterisk, you can get information about all the fields. Select command can also be used to obtain one or more fields information. The general syntax of Select command is displayed on the screen. Here in Select command, by using where clause, you can specify any condition, but it is optional. Now let us look at few examples of using Select command. Example 1 on the screen shows the command to be used to display product table information, and example 2 shows the command to be used to display name and price of the product information. Next is about various operators used in SQL commands. Let us begin with arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are the operators that take two operands and then performs a mathematical calculation on them. However, you can use arithmetic operators only in select command. The arithmetic operators used in SQL include addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Let us now have a look at few examples. In this example, you can see the usage of addition arithmetic operator to display the first name with the second name. Look at another example. In this example, you can see the usage of addition arithmetic operator to display the new column net pay from the table salary by adding basic and DA. Here you must note that if you want to give new name for the column, then you have to use the format as displayed on the screen. Next is about relational operators. Relational operators help in implementing comparison between two operands. However, you can use relational operators only in where clause. The relational operators used in SQL include less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. Let us now have a look at an example. In this example, you can see the usage of greater than relational operator to display the name of the employees who have salary above 30,000. Next is about logical operators. Logical operators are the operators that can be used only in where clause and helps in merging more than one condition. The logical operators used in SQL include and, or, not. Let us now have a look at an example. In this example, you can see the usage of AND logical operator. Next is about like operator. Like operator helps in searching a value similar to specific pattern in a column using wildcard operator. Wildcard operators are of two types. They are %sign, which is used to represent 0, 1 or multiple characters, and underscore, which is used to represent a single number or character. Let us now have a look at an example. In this example, you can see the usage of like operator to display the name of all employees whose name starts with letter D. Next is about in operator. The in operator helps to specify multiple values by using where clause. Look at an example on the screen. In this example, you can see the usage of in operator to display the employee's information of designation ID and FO. Next is about between operator. The between operator helps in examining whether or not a value stated before the keyword between is between the two values stated after the keyword between. Look at an example on the screen. In this example, you can see the usage of between operator to display the employee's information who have a salary between 30,000 and 60,000. You must note that in the query, both 30,000 and 60,000 are included. Next is about order by command. Order by command is a command which helps in arranging the values in ascending or descending order. Look at an example on the screen. In this example, you can see the usage of order by command to display the employee information in the descending order with respect to the column name. Let us now look at aggregate functions in SQL. Aggregate functions are those functions which help to implement calculation on the basis of a particular column, and these functions always return a single value. The various aggregate functions include sum function, average function, maximum function, minimum function, and count function. Let us look at each of these functions in detail. Let us begin with sum function. You can use sum function to determine the total value of a particular column. An example of using sum function to determine the total salary of all the employees is as displayed on the screen. Next is about average function. You can use average function to determine the average value of a particular column. An example of using average function to determine the average salary earned by employees is as displayed on the screen. Next is about max function. You can use max function to determine the maximum value of a particular column. An example of using max function to determine the maximum salary earned by an employee is displayed on the screen. Next is about min function. You can use min function to determine the minimum value of a particular column. Here is an example of using min function to determine the minimum salary earned by an employee. Next is about count function. This function helps in determining number of values, that is, number of rows of a specific column. Here is an example of using count function to determine number of employees. Let us now look at the usage of group by clause in SQL. The SQL group by is a clause that is used by SQL aggregate functions for the purpose of grouping some information. In other words, group by clause helps to arrange identical data into groups in collaboration with the select statement. You can use this clause whenever aggregate functions by group are needed. Here is an example that uses group by clause to determine the number of employees with same designation. Next is about the usage of having clause in SQL. As we have already discussed earlier, that where clause helps you only to place condition on the selected columns, but the having clause helps to place condition on groups created by group by clause. This is because of the reason that where clause is not usable. Here is an example of having clause. Next is about the usage of update command. The update command helps you to implement modification of the data values. The general syntax of update command is shown on the screen. Next, let us look at the usage of distinct keywords. The distinct keyword is a keyword which helps to remove or discard duplicate values in a particular column. Here is an example of using distinct keyword to determine the name column. Look at an example on the screen. In this example, update command is used to determine the increased salary of each employee by 1,000 rupees. Next is about the usage of delete command. Delete command helps you to delete any information from a particular row or rows. A point to be noted here is that delete command will remove only row information, but it does not have any impact on the structure of the table. The general syntax of delete command is shown on the screen. Look at an example on the screen. In this example, delete command is used to remove the employee information having employee number as 103. Let us now look at the usage of alter table command in SQL. Alter table command helps you to modify the structure of the table and implementing the same. It is a DDL command, and using this command, you have various options which include add a new column, remove the existing column, and modify data type of existing column. The general syntax of alter table command is displayed on the screen. Let us look at few examples. Example 1. In this example, alter table command is used to add one new column department to the employee table. Example 2. In this example, alter table command is used to change department data type as shown on the screen in the employee table. Example 3. In this example, alter table command is used to remove department column in the employee table. Next is about the usage of drop table command in SQL. Drop table command helps you to delete the entire structure of the table and information. It is also a kind of DDL command. An example of using drop table command to delete the whole structure of employee table is shown on the screen. Next, let us look at the usage of equi-joins in SQL. Equi-joins are helpful to give information in different tables. In this type of join, only equality operator is used. An example of using equi-joins is shown on the screen. Finally, let us have a look at the usage of non-equi-joins in SQL. Non-equi-join is a kind of join in which you can use only relational operators except equal operator. Non-equi-join operators include greater than, lesser than, greater than or equal to, lesser than or equal to, and not equal to. An example of using non-equi-joins is shown on the screen. In this module, you have learned that SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is used for accessing and manipulating databases in the form of a standard language. Uses of SQL commands in implementing various functions are retrieving data from a database, inserting records in a database, updating records in a database, deleting records from a database, creating new databases, creating new tables in a database, creating views in a database. Create table helps to create structure of the table. Alter table command helps to modify and implement the structure of the table. Drop table command helps to delete full structure of the table. Insert into command helps to add row values. Select command helps to display row or column information. Distinct keyword helps to select different information. Max function is used to choose maximum value of a particular column. Min function is used to choose minimum value of a particular column. Sum function is used to determine total value of a particular column. AVG function is used to determine average value of a particular column. Count function is used to determine the number of records in the table. Equi-joins helps to give information in different tables. Non-equi-join use only relational operators except equal operator.